The Chosen has never been just another television series. It started as a daring idea, a small crowdfunded project with no major studio support, and yet it has grown into one of the most remarkable success stories in modern entertainment. From those humble beginnings, it has captured millions of hearts, climbed to theatrical releases, secured global distribution, and now stands proudly under the banner of Amazon Prime Video. And now, just as fans are still talking about the perfection of Season 5, a new wave of anticipation rises. Season 6 is not simply another chapter. It is the storm before the calm, the most emotional turning point of the entire journey. This is the season where the story we know takes a devastating turn. The crucifixion is coming, and The Chosen is preparing to tell it in a way that promises to leave a mark on history. Think about where this all began. Back in 2017, The Chosen was a risk, fueled by the belief of ordinary people who wanted to see something different. No glossy marketing campaigns, no billion-dollar studios, just passion, faith, and determination. And now, after years of growth, it has become a global movement, one that still manages to keep its promise of staying close to the people who built it. Season 5 ended with Judas's infamous kiss. That single moment of betrayal left the world of The Chosen trembling. For many of us, the heartbreak of that scene still lingers. But that was only the beginning. Season 6 will pick up where that silence left off. Jesus will be arrested, he will face trial, and he will walk the painful path toward crucifixion. This is the moment the series has been building toward since its very first frame. Dallas Jenkins has always been clear about his vision: 7 seasons to tell the complete story of Jesus' ministry, death, and resurrection. We are now entering the darkest and most defining chapter of that vision. And while this will not be the first time the crucifixion has been shown on screen, The Chosen has always been different. Where others lean on horror and brutality, The Chosen chooses intimacy, depth, and humanity. It reveals pain without sensationalizing it. It shows truth without drowning us in despair. That is why Season 6 is already stirring so much anticipation. We know the story, yet we also know The Chosen will make us feel it as if we are witnessing it for the first time. This is not just another season to passively watch. This is the emotional heart of the entire saga, the moment that will shape how fans remember the series years from now. If Season 7 is destined to bring hope through resurrection, then Season 6 is here to break us down, to confront the weight of sacrifice, and to show us why the hope matters in the first place. Right now, there is no official release date locked in. But if the pattern holds true, 2026 spring is the window fans are keeping their eyes on. And with the powerful backing of Amazon MGM, the series now has the resources to make this timeline more possible than ever. Filming is expected to begin very soon, moving faster than previous years, ensuring that we won't be left waiting endlessly like many other shows. That's where the story of production ties into the story we see on screen. A few months ago, some fans worried about crowdfunding delays, questioning whether Season 6 could even happen. But reassurance came quickly. Cast members confirmed that filming was on track and preparations were underway. For a project that started with nothing but donations, it is extraordinary to see how far it has come and how firmly it now stands. And the best part? The consistency. The Chosen has respected its fans by avoiding long, frustrating gaps. While modern shows often leave viewers waiting 2 or even 3 years between seasons, this one continues to deliver regularly, honoring the audience's commitment. That reliability only strengthens the bond between the story and its fans. The heart of The Chosen has always been its people. From Jesus himself to the apostles who walk beside him, the cast has become a family not only on screen, but in the minds of viewers across the world. And as we step into Season 6, that familiarity will be more important than ever. Jonathan Roumie will once again embody Jesus, carrying the heaviest chapter of the story on his shoulders. His performance has been the emotional anchor since Season 1, and now he is preparing to bring us through the most difficult hours of Christ's life. The apostles will return as well. Simon, John, Matthew, and little James have journeyed with us from the very beginning, and they remain essential threads in this tapestry. Their loyalty, their doubts, and their faith will all be tested in ways we have not yet seen. Season 6 will not only follow Jesus to the cross, but also reveal how his closest friends struggle to make sense of betrayal, fear, and loss. And then there is Judas. Season 5 gave us a complex, human portrait of the man most often remembered for his treachery. Instead of painting him as a one-dimensional villain, The Chosen showed his humanity, his flaws, and his moments of weakness. That choice sparked debate among fans. Some found it moving, while others felt frustrated at the empathy shown toward him. Yet one thing is certain: Judas cannot simply disappear. His presence will linger in Season 6 because his actions set the course for everything that follows. How the series chooses to use him now will be a question that keeps fans talking until the very end. But Judas is not the only factor drawing us in. The way The Chosen approaches the crucifixion itself will define this season. Think about other portrayals. The Passion of the Christ, for example, delivered the horror in full force. It shocked audiences with relentless brutality. But The Chosen has carved out a different space. It has shown us miracles, faith, and hardship with a human lens, never shying away from pain, but never letting pain overwhelm the story either. That balance is what makes Season 6 so anticipated. We know the crucifixion will be devastating, yet we also trust that The Chosen will reveal not only the suffering but the meaning behind it. This tension is what gives Season 6 its weight. It is not simply the tragedy of death. It is the story of sacrifice, of love carried to its absolute end. It is the breaking point that prepares the way for resurrection. Without this chapter, the story would be incomplete. And that is why Season 6 stands as the narrative core of the entire series. Years from now, when people reflect on The Chosen, they will remember the heartbreak of this season. They will remember the weight of the crucifixion and the silence that followed. And yet, even as we prepare for this heartbreak, there is another layer of anticipation. Season 7 is waiting. It will not be defined by sorrow, but by hope, by the miracle of resurrection and the promise of ascension. That knowledge makes Season 6 all the more powerful. Because before we can feel the joy of renewal, we must first endure the devastation. Behind the scenes, the production is racing forward. Amazon MGM is now carrying the torch, ensuring the series reaches global audiences with the resources it deserves. This partnership has changed everything. No longer is The Chosen relying only on the uncertain rhythm of crowdfunding. It now has the backing of a powerhouse capable of delivering both theatrical releases and streaming dominance. That means when Season 6 arrives, it will do so with greater reach than ever before. But even with this new foundation, the spirit of The Chosen has not changed. It continues to value the fans who lifted it from obscurity to success. It continues to stay true to its original vision of 7 complete seasons. And it continues to bring us closer, season after season, without dragging its feet. That reliability is a rare gift in television today. Season 5 left us on the edge of a cliff. The Last Supper had unfolded. Judas had stepped out into the night. And then came that infamous kiss, sealing Jesus' fate. Season 6 does not give us time to breathe. It begins with Jesus' arrest, the chaos of betrayal now fully realized. The quiet moments of reflection are over. From here, the pace accelerates toward trial, condemnation, and the cross. This progression is what makes the season so intense. Every scene will feel heavy with inevitability. We know what is coming, and yet the journey there is what grips us. The disciples will scatter, torn between fear and loyalty. Peter will face his denial. Pilate will weigh the decision that echoes through history. Each step is layered with tension, and every moment carries emotional weight. The Chosen has always been about more than retelling familiar stories. It has been about making us feel the humanity behind them. In Season 6, that approach will be more vital than ever. Rather than simply recreating the crucifixion as a spectacle, it will draw us close. It will show us the expressions, the silences, the doubts, and the courage. It will remind us that this was not only a divine act, but also a deeply human moment of suffering, and that is what separates The Chosen from other portrayals. Where many focus on the physical torment, this series brings us into the inner lives of those who witnessed it. Imagine watching the apostles as they realize their teacher and friend is slipping away. Imagine the crushing guilt Judas carries after his betrayal. Imagine Mary, standing near the cross, her heart torn apart. These perspectives create a story that is not only about death, but about the impact of that death on every person touched by it. It is this emotional closeness that ensures Season 6 will linger in memory long after the final episode airs. Viewers will not only recall what happened, but how it felt. They will remember the silence after Jesus takes his last breath. They will remember the darkness of loss before the light of resurrection. And yet, while the season will be devastating, it is also necessary. Dallas Jenkins has always promised 7 seasons to tell the complete arc of Jesus' ministry. Season 6 is the breaking point, but it is also the bridge. It leads us directly into the hope of Season 7, where resurrection will turn despair into joy. Without this dark valley, the mountaintop of the final season would lose its meaning. Production-wise, the anticipation has never been greater. Rumors and confirmations have swirled for months. Some fans worried when the crowdfunding slowed, fearing delays. But reassurance came quickly, both from cast members and from the steady involvement of Amazon MGM. Filming is expected to begin around spring 2025, which means cameras will soon capture the most pivotal scenes in the entire series. By the time 2026 arrives, audiences around the world will be bracing for what could be the most talked-about season yet. This timeline matters because The Chosen has built trust by keeping momentum alive. Unlike other shows that take years off between seasons, this one respects its viewers' patience. It does not stretch anticipation to the breaking point. Instead, it nurtures it, delivering season after season in a rhythm that feels steady and reliable. That rhythm will continue, and it ensures that Season 6 does not just exist as a promise, but as a near reality. All of this makes one thing clear. The Chosen is no longer simply a show. It is a journey we are all walking together. From its first crowdfunded steps to its current partnership with one of the biggest names in entertainment, it has grown without losing its identity. And now, as we approach the crucifixion, it feels less like we are watching a drama unfold and more like we are standing at the edge of history, ready to witness it again with fresh eyes. As Season 6 draws us deeper into the crucifixion story, we begin to see why Dallas Jenkins called this the emotional heart of the entire series. Every season before has been building toward this moment. The miracles, the teachings, the friendships, and the betrayals all converge here. It is the chapter that defines the cost of love. The weight of this season will not come only from the crucifixion itself, but from the journey leading to it. We will see Jesus endure false accusations, rejection from his own people, and the crushing burden of carrying the cross. The apostles will scatter, some too afraid to follow, others broken by guilt. Peter's denial will sting with shame. Judas's despair will spiral into tragedy. And Mary, watching her son suffer, will embody the pain of every parent who has ever felt powerless to protect their child. This is not just a biblical retelling. This is a human story of sacrifice, loyalty, betrayal, and love carried to the edge of despair. That is why The Chosen stands apart. It does not reduce these events to symbols or distant history. It lets us feel them through the eyes of those who lived them. And yet, even as the story plunges into darkness, there is a pulse of hope running beneath it. Because viewers know what comes next, they know that Season 7 will bring resurrection. That anticipation makes every scene in Season 6 heavier, every silence more profound. We are watching a story of suffering, but we are also waiting for the promise that suffering will not have the final word. Behind the camera, everything is aligning to make this season unforgettable. With Amazon MGM's global reach, The Chosen is no longer confined to niche audiences. It has become a worldwide phenomenon. The partnership ensures that millions more will walk this road together, experiencing the crucifixion and resurrection with fresh intensity. This is not just about expanding viewership. It is about ensuring that the heart of the story reaches further than ever before. The cast, too, plays a vital role in this emotional crescendo. Jonathan Roumie's portrayal of Jesus has already carried viewers through miracles and parables with authenticity and compassion. Now he faces the most demanding scenes of his career, bringing to life the anguish and love of the crucifixion. The apostles, from Simon to John, will stand on the edge of despair, their faith tested in ways that feel raw and real. And Judas, perhaps the most controversial figure of all, will continue to divide audiences. Will The Chosen lean further into his humanity, or will it let the weight of betrayal crush him entirely? These questions keep fans debating, and the answers will shape the legacy of Season 6. This is why fans are calling it the most unforgettable chapter yet. Not because it will be easy to watch, but because it will demand that we feel. It will remind us why the story of sacrifice matters, why betrayal cuts so deeply, and why resurrection carries so much power. So as we wait for production to move forward, the anticipation only grows. Each update, each announcement about casting or filming adds fuel to the fire. The weight is heavy, but it is filled with purpose. Because when Season 6 arrives, it will not simply entertain. It will break hearts, challenge faith, and prepare us for the final hopeful ascent of Season 7. This is the journey of The Chosen. From its humble beginnings as a crowdfunded project to its global stage on Amazon Prime, it has never lost sight of its vision. Now, as it enters the most pivotal chapter, it calls us to walk the road of suffering and hope together. Season 6 is not the end. It is the storm before the sunrise, the heartbreak before the healing, the moment that makes the resurrection matter. The Chosen has always been more than a series. It has been a movement, a shared experience that connects millions across the world. And as we stand on the threshold of Season 6, one truth becomes clear. This is the season that will define everything. This is the story we will never forget.